all about the Archers. I'm Philippa.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Quentin.
And we are here to talk to you all about what's happened so far this week. We will be focusing on the episodes of Sunday the 17th, Monday the 18th, and tonight, Tuesday the 19th of November. There will be spoilers. You have been warned. What did we think about the week so far?
Well, I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but someone just slapped Ruth because flipping egg. I wanted to swear. I was just fuming. What is wrong with her? No, not happy. She was just horrible to Fallon. And after all Fallon did, and then she was just like, nah, can't really use you now. Soz. Sorry?
Yeah. I agree. I didn't want to slap Ruth. I wanted to slap on a HRT patch because, as one who knows, I felt she needed 1, 2 or 3 patches on her.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely rave about their benefits. I mean, I've really benefited from putting them on all over my body, and it keeps me very sort of level-headed. But I have to say, Fallon took it on the chin and said, "Yeah, fair dues, you're right. I do need to." As she says, "You have to be properly set up." Ruth said to her, and Fallon agreed, didn't she? But it was a bit brutal, wasn't it? I know they're coming towards the end of the episode and time was running out. They couldn't have a cup of tea first and a lemon drizzle cake. So they had to wrap it all up. But she was a bit brutal. And all the stuff about Jill's rules beforehand. You can't use the blue and white crockery or something, and you can't use the casserole dishes. Take a photo of the kitchen. And but, you know, it was confirmed that David is an award-winning husband. So there you go. Can't be all bad for Ruth. She's got an award-winning husband now with his Herefordshires. But no, I mean, I thought Ruth was very, very poor this week. I mean, she stressing about this late booking or the extra guests. Fallon says, "I'll help." Then she makes it really, really difficult for her in terms of lending her kitchen. And then she sets all these rules, or Jill's rules. And then at the end says, "Yeah, it went all right, but." So I thought she didn't cover herself in glory this week, did Ruth? Yeah, bring on the HRT.
Just thought this week everybody was over talking and not listening and being empathetic to anybody. It feels like it was Kerry Davis, script writer this week. I feel like Kerry hadn't had enough biscuits with his cup of tea or coffee this week when he was writing the script, because my goodness, people were cross, and Ruth, as we said, spectacularly grumpy. That made me shout out. But something else that made me shout out, and I'm going to say the name and then leave it for you both. Helen.
Oh God.
Knew that was coming.
Bloody hell. Oh God, where do we start?
Oh.
I mean, first of all, she goes round. I mean, I get a bit bored with where people all live, but they're all neighbours, aren't they? Azra, Joy, Helen. Yeah, I've got that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she goes round on some pretense to see Azra. I think, was she giving her some boring rambling book? I think.
Yes.
And then she's completely mucks Helen around with this survey and so forth. I mean, I've got a real bugbear about this notion that there's 20 grand's worth of repairs to be done on a house that's only 10 years old. I mean, it's an absolute joke. And then this whole thing about Mick is now going to park his love mobile, his love shack on Joy's front drive, which is, as I have to give credit to Graham Bell on our Facebook page, he quite rightly said he's going to put his mucky van next door. Well, that's going to really affect her selling the house. It was going to look like that. He's got, oh, what's that? Oh, that's Mick's love shack. He lives in that. And then Helen gets it towed, and it ruins the lawn. And then I've seen, conspiracy theorists on our Facebook group are saying, is this all a gunning plan by Helen to scupper Kirsty's campaign to sell a house? Because bit by bit, she is really mucking Kirsty around. So, yeah, Helen. Ooh, sorry, I'll get off my soapbox.
No, Katie, Carry on the theme,
I was going to
please.
say, I think we're still staying up there. But also, Tom was the same about living in a housing estate and everything. It's just this whole kind of, I get that they're used to living at a farm and the countryside, but it's still Ambridge, and we're not asking them to move to London. It's still a village, or is it a village or a town? I don't know. But
Village.
Yeah, it's not a big place, and that housing estate's not going to be a huge estate. It's not a kind of tower block building. It's still countryside. It's not that bad, and the kids are happy there, so why are we being so snobby about a housing estate?
But I also don't buy Helen. She's so sort of chill. Though we'll just find somewhere else to rent in Ambridge. Well, she's where? I mean, there's not a huge amount of housing stock, and B, she's really sniffy. She thinks Beechwood isn't good enough for her. Oh,
I was listening to Monday night's episode this morning when I was on my treadmill, and I screamed. My husband ran in. What's wrong? I said, it's Helen. She is so filled with self-entitlement. And he was just like, oh, it's the Archers. And off he went. But the things Helen was saying...
I'm sort of with your husband there, really. Yeah.
The things Helen was saying, I know you tried your best for me. What? And then when Joy was saying something about Kirsty, Helen said, oh, sadly, she wasn't bringing me very good news. The bottom line is the boys and I are going to have to move out. Because of you, you silly woman. Oh.
You were going to refer to her as a Herefordshire, though, weren't you?
No. Your name's going on the list.
Oh, it's already on there, isn't it? It's top
Just
to bottom,
again.
it's me. One of my favourite lines of the week was when, at the start of Monday's episode, and Helen goes around with a rambling book, I think, and interrupts Azra. He's in the middle of an online course on pain management. And I thought, the last person you want to come round and increase your pain is Helen.
Yeah, well, at least you've had the training so that you can manage the pain better.
Well, she ended halfway through the course, so she didn't know how to handle Helen.
True.
20 Easy Rambles in Borsetshire.
Oh, is that
I think
it?
that's a
I
great
wasn't-
book to take round, isn't it?
Yeah.
Be a lovely
Yeah.
book. Quite like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, mine are more flops and faves this week, but Katie, anything else?
Well, one of my faves was how many events Ambridge seems to have. I love it. I want to go and live in Ambridge. There is so much. Tonight we had a silver wedding, and then it was the Borsetshire Hereford Cattle 60th anniversary and the motorbike rally. There's so much going on. I love places that have got a million things going on, and I miss London because I'm not living in somewhere that's got loads going on. I'm going to go and live in Ambridge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on, but there's a lot of people where things aren't going on, really. So,
True.
yes.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, they like doing stuff. And also we've got Joy, Mick and Jacob back. Yeah.
Yeah, great to have Jakob back. And amazingly, they've got a superstar in the village, haven't they? Now, there's a new character who's entered called Justin Beaver. Look at Philippa's face.
She's laughing inside, don't worry. She's well happy.
The minute on Sunday I heard them mentioning beavers again, I thought, oh, no.
Do you get the gag, Philippa? It's Justin Bieber.
I do.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you,
Yes,
Katie, for at
very
least
good.
responding.
Very good. Yeah.
I tried.
It's like I don't know. What's it like?
It's obviously an
What's
East
it
Midlands
like?
thing, don't worry.
It is. No, so she's a Puritan down in Shropshire.
Exactly.
I think she's in an Amish community, actually, Philippa. I've decided. But there was quite a lot of beaver talk. I mean, you can't get away from it. I mean, come on, you got away. I mean, you escaped last week from me, Philippa. Anyway, but I mean, I think Kirsty and Helen. Kirsty said we're not here to talk about beavers. I mean, what a line. And then Helen droned on about saying, I'll decide not to buy Beechwood, and I'll go back to the beavers. Much more fun. So there's some good little lines dropped in. We had a reference to Wayne. Wayne is back on the scene, silent as ever in the bull, cooking, isn't he? Have we ever heard from Wayne, Philippa? Get off your phone. Have you?
I was just putting something out. When Harrison arrested him,
Oh.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Did we hear from Wayne? And I can't. Oh, I like to think we did, because there were conversations between Fallon and Wayne. But I'm desperately sorry, everyone, if I've got that wrong.
Don't worry. I don't think people are on tenterhooks about that. Don't worry. They will write in. But Justin was appalling. Justin was appalling again, wasn't he? I mean, he is strong-arming poor Brad. Oh, God. And then he was really dismissive about Felpersham University, wasn't he? Oh, well, I was only first year, forget it. Do my video and I want it done by blah. I mean, I hate that strong-arming. But I think this is brewing up, and it will be. I'll give you one of my predictions now. I think Brad is going to have a burnout. Tracy is going to bleed and lose it. She's going to lay into Emma about... stop getting him to carry on George's business. She's gonna lay into Justin. No, he's not doing your video, and stop strong arming him. And she's gonna lay into Kirsty. She's not doing your rewilding and all your editing. So I think we're up. That's one of my predictions. You heard it first. Thank you.
Well, his exams will be coming up.
Yes. So, yeah. And as Tracy's described him, what did she say? It's a lovely description of a lovely son. Oh, I can't find it now. He can be too nice for his own good. That's our Brad, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's been completely taken for granted, isn't he, and exploited, I think, at the moment. Our Brad.
Yes, I agree. And Kirsty was just ignoring the fact that he was talking about how hard it is to edit and how much he's got on.
He was so relieved, wasn't he? He was so. Do you know when that line about the editing? I was thinking of you, Philippa.
Yes, thanks. Yes, I thought the same.
You've got an evening of editing this nonsense, whereas Katie and I could go off and have supper.
Me and Quentin just go to the pub and have a great time. You've got to carry on editing.
So I thought that's a line for Philippa. She will chime with her. Yeah. But I mean, I've done so much editing in my life,
Solidarity.
and editing is hard work. It is, especially when you've got a lot of material, and I can just understand his utter feeling of being overwhelmed by all the footage.
Yes. I like the drone noise though. I thought, first of all, is it a hornet's nest again? We're going to hear that, but no, it was the drone. A question just to go back to the Helen issue. Who do you think is going to pay for the lawn damage?
Tony, because Helen won't, and I don't think Joy and Mick will. So I think it'll be Tony. I think it'll have to come out of his house fund for doing his little Grand Designs house.
Yeah, but he was only doing them a favour, wasn't he? He's got nothing to do with him.
No, it's not his fault.
I think Mick will probably step up. It is his manky van, for goodness sake, isn't it?
But I think Helen should pay as well, because she's living there. She was involved.
But she was trying to help. She was trying to... I mean, why the hell did she say, Joy, she can't park his love shack on your drive? Why did she not step in and say... It was just like... I mean, it's going to be Alan Bennett. He'll be the next guest in this, won't he? He's like Lady in the Van. Be Mick in the van.
And we had another My Darling from Jolene this week.
We've forgotten about that now. It's all right to say it now. It's past.
No, it's not. The wound is still deep. Quentin, just to make you feel happy, I should just mention the food briefly. A beef joint, mustard, lamb, lemon parfait, mini pasties, veggie food, spring rolls, mushroom tartlets, pinwheels, loaded potato skins. For the record, for those listening, Q is holding up a sign saying #rather beaver. My goodness, that's quite a thing. Quentin.
Yes.
Please tell me your star of the week.
Well, yeah, because we hadn't spoken. Casey's mentioned him very briefly. I'm a bit worried about our dear Jakob. And we haven't mentioned Hilda, for goodness sake. Hilda lives. I mean, was there a collective groan when we found out that it wasn't Hilda? It's like, oh God, she's still with us. But Jakob felt so bad. He said, I'm a vet here. I'm here to preserve life, not mow it down. And he's very stressed. He needs a holiday. And I loved his line.
He's got to deal with Kate.
Yeah, I love his line talking about when he was talking to Asra, I think, about this cat that he'd mown down. And she said, "Oh, is it Hilda? Do you know Hilda?" He said, "I have encountered her." And I thought it was he was a little cameo this week, but my star of the week is Jakob, because I love him.
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
I've got Kirsty because I kind of just want to give her a hug because of all the house stuff just messing around, but also the fact that she did try and help Brad with the editing and everything, and the fact that she was going back after the pub, after they'd had a little break, they were going back for the editing and stuff. I really felt for Kirsty this week, so not necessarily star of the week, but want to give a hug of the week.
What does Kirsty know about editing, though?
Well, I don't know.
They need to call Philippa.
Yeah.
Philippa's answer is AI.
Shocking.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's get that list.
I'm on the list again.
Yeah, in bold now. My star of the week was Kirsty too. I should just say, if you want more of these episodes, do follow us on your podcast player or hit subscribe on YouTube. Then they will automatically appear on your timeline. And if you'd like to support us, do go to the show notes. You can become a Patreon and there are benefits with that. Or if you just not want to commit to a regular payment, you can buy us a coffee on a one-off basis. All would be greatly appreciated.
We do like coffee.
Very quickly. Yes, we do. Very quickly, predictions. Yes.
So I think Brad is going to start his own YouTube thing with all of George's equipment, and it's going to be Brad's Borsetshire Beaver channel. And he's going to tell George what he's doing. George is going to get interested because of the name of the title. And then when he gets out, he realises it is just about beavers. Two others, I really like the idea that Khalil and Henry are going to be the future of farming. I feel like that's the kind of the way it's going, and I quite like that. I like the idea of where that's going to build. But also one little bit we've not mentioned about last week was Tom saying to Natasha about the fact that you usually go gung-ho about credit. Because we've not heard about Natasha's spending for quite a long time. And I think the fact they're digging that up again, I don't know whether Natasha's going to go silly with Beechwood. By Beechwood, there is a lot of stuff that needs fixing. They go bankrupt and Fallon gets the calf back.
Right.
Love it. Quentin, can you beat those?
Well, no, not really, but I'm delighted Katie's picked up on that, because it's really bugged me that this whole credit card business has just disappeared, and that was building up to be quite a storyline, so I think that should be revisited. I forgot to mention one fave. I love the observation by Asra of a grubby man turning up at her door wanting to flog her turkeys. It was great. Its image of Eddie in his overalls was fantastic, and her being reassured by Helen. I've already given one of my predictions. Other prediction is that I think Helen and Kirsty are going to have they're going to fall out big time, aren't they?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, one of my predictions is that Kirsty is going to lose Roy's house. She's not going to have all her things in place in order to buy that, sadly. And my other one is that Hilda will love being at Azra's house and transform into a lovely, alive cat. Those are my predictions. Now, on Saturday, there is a bonus episode where we speak to the wonderful Jackie who plays Joy Horrobin, and she answers the questions from our Facebook group. And then next week, I will be back with Katie for more of our midweek madness. Until then, it's a goodbye from me.
Ta-ra from me.
Bye-bye from me.
Bye-bye, everyone.